dugout, getting set to make his Tigers debut in the regular season here today. And Rod, after about 3.5 hours, we're going to play this one. I know the players probably had to get themselves going for this one.
Well, they really did. I mean, guys were probably down there playing some cards and laying around and different things like that, maybe even watching a movie. But once they told them they were going to play this game, you have to get yourself ready to get out there and play, and I'm sure they'll be ready to play.
All right, so Shane Green will make the start today for the Detroit Tigers, and you may or may not know how he came to Detroit. He was a 15th-round pick originally in the 2009 draft by the Yankees. He was acquired on December 5th in a three-way trade the Tigers made with the Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had some Tommy John surgery in his career, but in 2 starts against the Tigers last year, he really impressed the Detroit Tigers.
Of all the rookies I saw last year, and we saw a lot of rookies, Shane Green impressed me more so than anybody. He had a fastball that he could get up into the mid-90s. When he gets on top of it and he gets to that real nice release point, he gets an outstanding sink on this two-seamer. He also will front door you with a breaking ball as a right-hander, and he will bury that breaking ball down and away from you as well when he wants to strike out. He's got a changeup that they'd love to see him throw more of, so I'm sure we'll see that against a lot of the left-handed batters.
Well, the rain has stopped here at the ballpark. A tip of the cap to the fans who've decided to stick around for better than 3.5 hours to watch Tigers baseball today, and they will get their wish as the Tigers, under chilly and damp conditions today, will play this game. These field conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 59 degrees right now, so it's not like it's extremely cold here at the ballpark, but the humidity is up at 89%. They are forecasting some thunderstorms later this evening, and the hope is that that rain will start to fall once this game is complete, as the Tigers go for the sweep today of the Minnesota Twins to start the 2015 season. The Tigers, of course, have really gotten the offense going early this season, and the pitching has been that impressive as well. And as you take a look at the field, you see a lot of the diamond dry on the field right now to keep it nice and dry, and really, when you consider that the rain has been not really heavy today, Rod, but kind of falling most of the afternoon, the field looks like it's in great shape.
Well, Heather Nabosny and her staff, they do marvelous work here at Comerica Park, and this field always looks immaculate.
As it does here today, and the Tigers, of course, wrapping up this series this afternoon. And then it is on to Cleveland and then on to Pittsburgh as well. Now, we mentioned the Tigers in the first 2 games have been really, really good. Yes, the offense has been booming, but don't forget about the pitching. You talk about David Price, you talk about Anibal Sanchez, and these 2 guys, Rod, were on point the first 2 days.
You know, Sanchez walked a couple in his outing yesterday, but Price, no blemishes as far as the base on balls were concerned. I like the fact that they were pitching to a little bit more contact, which allowed those guys to get into the 7th inning. So just outstanding starts by the first 2 in the Tigers' rotation so far this year.
Well, the Twins have not gotten a man to third base in this series. Think about that. They haven't scored in this series. And there is Price on the left, Sanchez on the right, off to tremendous starts in the 2015 campaign. And the hope is that the guy taking the mound right now, Shane Green, will keep it rolling for the Detroit Tigers here this afternoon. And we'll check out some of the numbers on Green, who comes over to the Tigers, as we mentioned, from the New York Yankees. Shane Green facing a Minnesota Twins team that really last year was outstanding at putting the ball in place, scoring a lot of runs, but not so this year. And the scouting report on Shane Green, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
He had 14 starts last year. He went 5-4 with a respectable earned run average, 81 strikeouts in 78 and 2/3 innings. So that allows you to know that he has a strikeout pitch. But take a look at the ERA against the American League Central in 5 games. Just a shade over 2.
Here is the lineup that Shane Green will be facing today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Danny Santana leading it off, playing shortstop, Brian Dozier at second, Joe Mauer at first base. The middle 3 features Hunter, Vargas, and Plouffe. Escobar, man, he had himself a really good spring, really hit well against the Tigers last year. He's in left today, followed by Chris Herman and then Jordan Schaefer. And, of course, the Minnesota Twins under the guidance of first-year manager and Hall of Fame player Paul Molitor, who I guess his team has gone off to a slow start, but he knows he's got some quality players, Rod, and things that certainly will turn around for him.
But one thing about Paul Molitor, a guy that had over 3,000 hits in his career, stole 500 bases. He played marvelous baseball. He understands that it's a long season. He knows he has, by and large, a very young team, and he's going to be positive with them all season long. Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. In left field, they've got Cespedes, they've got Ghost in center field. J.D. Martinez is in right. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Cabrera round out the infield, and Alex Avila. He's behind the plate. And how about Ghost? Only one error in his last 75 games, so he can really cover some real estate in center.
I think we're seeing now why the Tigers decided to give up their best prospect in Devin Travis to get Anthony Ghost. He had a fabulous spring. He's had a nice start to this year, and we are just about ready for baseball here this afternoon. Turning into early this evening as we speak, but there is baseball nonetheless as Danny Santana settles into the batter's box for the Minnesota Twins.
Expect a bunt or two today from some of these guys in the Minnesota Twins batting order, especially guys like Santana, guys that can run. As Mario brought up, they have not scored in this series. They're going to do everything early in this game to try to get on the board.
All right, Shane Green is ready to go to work, and so are we. First pitch of today's ball game is a strike called on Santana. 3:36 the official start delay to this one here today. 59 degrees at game time. Here's the 0-1. Wave and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes on Santana.
You never want to sit around for 3 hours and 36 minutes, but you'd much rather play this game versus having some games really pile up on you later on in the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. As the 0-2 comes home and it's high and away, and then you start getting into later in the season, you're either doubling up a game or you're losing an off day. And as the season grinds on, that's the last thing that you want to see happen later in the year. Green is ready now with the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Santana is out of there. First strike out of the game for Shane Green.
Not a great breaking ball here thrown by Green. It kind of backs up on him, doesn't do a whole lot. It's a ball that Santana clearly could have put in play, but he swings right through it. Green has a slider that is much, much better than that last one.
So with one out, here's Brian Dozier, who is off to a 1-for-7 start this year. Dozier hit .242 last year, but showed pretty good power, 23 home runs. And that's in for strike 1.
That's exactly what the first 2 pitchers have been able to do to Dozier. That would be Price and also Sanchez. They didn't make any mistakes out of the heart of the plate. They stayed away from him, and it's worked the last couple of days.
Strike 2 called, and Shane Green continues to throw strikes.
It's going to be up to Dozier to make an adjustment because the Tigers aren't pitching to his strength. He's got tremendous pull power. He hit better than 20 home runs last year.
Now Green ready with the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes.
That's filthy. I mean, that is absolutely filthy. An 89-mile-per-hour 2-seam fastball. Actually a cutter.
A lot of action at the end of that pitch, and Dozier goes down. So a couple of strikeouts to start this one for Green. So far so good, and here is the talented Joe Mauer.
Green hasn't thrown anything straight yet. Everything has tremendous movement on it.
A couple of hits from Mauer so far this year, 2 out of 7. And he looks at another strike from Green. That fastball there at 94. Mauer career .319, coming off a down year last year. And he sends a ground ball to the left side of the infield for Castellanos, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Green. Good start to this one today. couple of strikeouts. He's off to a nice start here today. The Tigers starting lineup, meanwhile, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for the Tigers, it'll be Ghost, Kinsler, Cabrera at the top. No change there. Likewise in the middle, Martinez, and Cespedes. Alex Avila, 3 walks yesterday. He's just been getting on base at a big clip. He's in the bottom 3 with Castellanos and Iglesias, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Kyle Gibson.
He won 13 games last year. He lost 12. The ERA just a shade under 4.5. He has a fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. Mostly changeups to left-handers, mostly sliders to the right-handers. He'll top out at about 93 miles an hour.
Anthony Gose steps in and fouls one right off the mask of the catcher, Chris Herman, who had his bell rung early. Big start yesterday for Gose. You see his numbers with Toronto last year, 226. Looks like Herman as well might have suffered a cut on the bridge of the nose there. Wow. A direct hit off the bat of Gose. Well, he's chuckling about it, but he's seeking medical attention right now. The old super glue out there. Herman getting the start behind the plate in this one today. The Minnesota Twins in the first 2 had started Kurt Suzuki. How about Anthony Gose yesterday? He got off to a nice start as a Tiger.
You know, he worked so hard in spring training. They came up with a really nice plan with Wally Joyner, David Newhand. He followed it to perfection, and we saw it put on display yesterday. One past Torrey Hunter the first time up. That ended up being a triple, then a single to center field, then a double the opposite way. Of all the hits yesterday, really impressed with the one that went the opposite way. If he continues to do that, hit the ball on the line, hit the ball on the ground, and utilize his speed, there's no reason why Gose can't improve on the numbers that he had last year with the Blue Jays.
So it appears that Herman is all fixed up. And Gose will step back in there with a 1-strike count. Gose, Kinsler, Cabrera in the Tigers' first inning. Tigers in search of the sweep against the Minnesota Twins. Gibson's 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he really likes his fastball, Gibson. As a matter of fact, to left-handers, he will throw that fastball about 65, 66% of the time.
Gose pops it in the air to shallow center field. This might be trouble. Let's see. It's going to drop between 3 defenders for the Twins, and Gose will end up at second with a double. A little bit of good fortune there, but Gose will take it.
And you have 3 guys that really have good speed. The second baseman, Dozier, good speed. Santana, the shortstop, good speed. Schaefer in center field has good speed as well. You can see that Schaefer was calling it at the last moment, but neither guy could get there.
All 3 were able to avoid a collision. Meanwhile, Gose read it nicely and turned down the Jets and pulled in with a double. So the Tigers have the leadoff man aboard. Trying to score first again here in this game. Kinsler coming off a really good season, his first with the Tigers last year, and he's off to a great start this year. No balls, 1 strike on Kinsler, who already has knocked in 4 runs.
And you can see by that first swing by Ian Kinsler, runner on second base, nobody out. He was simply trying to hit something through the right side of the infield to drive in Gose.
Ian last year had 92 RBIs. If Gose has a really good season, that RBI total might be even higher for Kinsler. Here's the 0-1. Of course, the bottom of the Tigers lineup did some really good work yesterday as well, turning the lineup over.
They've been getting busy the first 2 days of the year.
Here's the 1-1 from Gibson. Good block there by Herman. 2 balls, 1 strike. I mentioned the veteran Suzuki got the first 2 starts. Herman today still being bothered by that cut, which apparently is not totally closed up.
Got to get a better cut man in their corner.
I was going to say the same thing. You know, if this was a hockey game, they would have been stitched up by now. Better cut man indeed. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on Kinsler. Gibson, 27 years old, a native of Greenfield, Indiana. 3-1 is low, ball 4, and the Tigers have something brewing now.
Let's take a peek at the Detroit Tigers starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. It would be Minnesota Twins defense. That'd be Escobar in left, Schaefer in center, Hunter in right field, Plouffe, Santana, Dozier, Maurer round out the infield, and Herman is the starting catcher here today.
So good opportunity here early on for Miguel Cabrera, who bats with 2 on, nobody out. Making a couple of RBIs and a double in this series. Hit 25 home runs last year. And while the home run numbers were down a bit for Miggy last season, the double numbers were up. He had 52 of them to lead the American League.
He had good numbers so far in his career against Gibson.
Gibson has gotten ahead 0-1. Ghost, Kinsler, the base runners. And Miggy shoots one in the air to center field. Schaefer cruising back in the gap. Runners will tag. Ghost will move to third. Kinsler holds up at first. 1 out, first and third. And now Victor Martinez. Victor off to a 1-for-7 start. Martinez seeing some of the treatments yesterday that he'll probably see most of the year, and that is a couple of intentional walks in yesterday's game.
Yeah, 28 times last year. And Victor was walked intentionally, which led the majors.
Victor looking for his first RBI of this campaign. And a ball outside, 1-0.
And Gibson gets the ball to home plate rather quickly, so it's going to be very difficult if Ian Kinsler's thinking about possibly stealing second to stay out of a possible double play. Awfully difficult to do against Gibson. He took very little time getting that ball into the catcher's glove.
Here's the 1-0. It's almost a slide step from Gibson with that front foot. He delivers the ball very quickly. Here are some of the numbers he had last season against the Tigers.
Yeah, really only 1 good start. Other than that, he gave up some crooked numbers. Victor, no doubt, sitting on a fastball inside that he can turn on here on the 2-0 count.
And here it is. Swing and a miss.
He took a little bit off of this one, 87 miles an hour, 2-seam fastball. You can see the late action tailing down and away from the left-handed batting. And Victor Martinez.
Gibson last year won 13 ball games in 31 starts for Minnesota. He had an ERA though of about 4.5. Here's the 2-1. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike.
It's a nice job by Victor laying off that ball at the bottom of the strike zone. He knows exactly what Gibson's trying to accomplish here and trying to force Victor into hitting the ball on the ground.
3-1 now on Martinez. Kinsler spins his wheels a little bit as he gets back to the bag.
It's a nice quick move by Kyle.
Gibson last year allowed just 12 home runs, which was tied for third fewest in the American League. Herman wants the fastball on 3-1. And Victor takes ball 4. It'll be the second walk in the inning. Now the Tigers have him loaded with 1 out. And it's going to bring up J.D. Martinez. It's also going to bring the catcher Herman out to the mound to discuss how to pitch to J.D. Two out of 9 for Martinez. Couple of extra base hits. He did homer on opening day.
To the deepest part of the ballpark. Right center field over the out-of-town scoreboard is a really long poke for a right-handed batter.
He has the bases loaded right now with 1 out. Swing and a miss.
If you're J.D. Martinez, you have to look for one pitch in one location. It wouldn't be that nasty slider that Gibson just threw him there, but you have to get something up in the strike zone, which would allow you to hit a fly ball deep enough to play ghosts.
J.D. in the air to center field, shallow, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Ghost will score. Here comes Kinsler rounding third. He's going to turn on the brakes now and head back to third base. He got about halfway down the line.
He got lucky.
A single and an RBI for J.D. Martinez. 1-0 Detroit. Well, he would have been a dead duck at the plate.
And J.D. Martinez fights one off in the shallow center field for the second bloop hit already of the evening for the Tigers. Kinsler on second base didn't get a great read initially, but then when he took off, he came all the way around third, then he stopped, and unfortunately for him, he was able to get back to third base.
So the bases are still loaded, a run in, and for Martinez, his second RBI of the year. That'll bring up Yoenis Cespedes. How about these numbers? Bases loaded career, 435. He will look to add to that number here. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Cespedes ground ball left side, base hit, finds a hole. Score Kinsler on the play. Martinez will go to third. They are still loaded, and it's 2-0 Detroit.
This Tigers offense, first 3 games of the year, they've been relentless. And Gibson got the ground ball that he was looking for, but it was right between the shortstop and the third baseman. Cespedes is off to a really nice season this year.
Yeah, that'll be his 4th hit, his first RBI as a Tiger. Now here is Castellanos. Tigers 2 runs on 3 hits already. Checked it, ball 1. Castellanos does have an RBI this year. It came on a sacrifice fly. He is still looking for his first hit of the 2015 campaign. We'll shoot that one foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned several times in the course of the first couple of games in the series that one of the issues the Minnesota Twins had last year was that their starting pitching just did not go deep enough in games, and it's starting to shape up like Gibson may not hang around long enough today.
Yeah, bullpen's been very busy first 2 games of the year, and they were very busy last year.
He has thrown 21 pitches already in this inning, has recorded just 1 out. And the 1-1. High fly ball, shallow center field. Schaefer measuring it. And this will not nearly be deep enough with Martinez at third. That is the second out of the inning. The bases remained full. That'll bring up Alex Avila. Brad Ausmus has said one of the good signs is that his 3 and 4 guys really haven't gotten red hot yet, but it really hasn't mattered, has it?
Well, it's good to see Alex get off to a really good start. 3 for 4 in the first couple of games of the year. Iglesias has been simply on fire. You know what Kinsler does every single year. He's gotten off to a nice start, and Goats has been a pleasant surprise.
So Avila with 3 walks and 5 runs scored already this season. Batting with the bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-1 on Alex. Good to see Avila get off to a good start. He struggled with the bat in terms of batting average last year. Avila hit a 2-run shot on opening day. All in support of Shane Green, who had an easy 1-2-3 first inning. And his loop foul back out of play, and the count now is 0-2. Twins are off to Chicago after this game. The Tigers will head to Cleveland to take on the Indians. It'll be a weekend series. Gibson sets with the 0-2. Off the inside part of the plate.
A nice swing back fastball there thrown by Gibson, but he didn't get enough of the corner. And Lance Barksdale's the home plate umpire.
Borderline, but just missed. There's Barksdale marking out the balls and strikes in this one here today. 1-2 on Avila. Inside again. Alex was asked before the game about all the walks that he has taken so far this year, and he said it's not like I'm going up there looking to walk. It's just that I'm not swinging at pitches that aren't strikes, and that's a good thing. He's run the count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a bouncing ball to the right side. That'll be right at Brian Dozier to retire the side. Tigers will leave them loaded, but they get a couple of runs as we go to the second. can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. By the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. And by Fresh Express blends and kits, consistently deliciously fresh. Well, those youngsters stuck around for 3 hours and 36 minutes because they wanted to watch their Tigers today, and they got their wish. Long rain delay this afternoon, but we have baseball. Shane Green had himself a 1-2-3 first inning. He'll go back to work now with a 2-0 lead.
He threw 9 pitches in the first inning. 8 of those were strikes.
It's a good start. Here is Torrey Hunter to start things off for the Twins.
They've been throwing Torrey a lot of breaking balls.
Ball inside, 1-0 on Hunter. Torrey in search of that first hit this year, 0 for 7. And that can be said for a lot of these Twins in the lineup today. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed.
Yeah, there's that breaking ball, top of the zone. And first pitch fastball inside, second pitch breaking ball up that Torrey swung right through.
A little bit off the plate there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Vila sets up outside, 2-1 pitch. Little looper into center field. Close is there. Hunter is out, 1 gone. Well, with that out right now, that has set a Twins franchise record, which includes the days of the Washington Senators. 19 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings to begin a season. Frustrating start for Paul Molitor and the Twins.
There's been a lot of frustrating starts for a lot of offensive teams already in the first 3 games of the year. There's already been 13 shutouts in Major League Baseball. Wow.
Here is Kenny Vargas. Vargas gets behind in the count, 0-1. 1 for 5 this year. Swing and a miss. Vargas DHing again here this afternoon. Here's the 0-2. They did work with Vargas during spring training to make sure he doesn't kind of really get pigeonholed as a designated hitter. They wanted him to work on some defense, so Tom Kelly was out in spring training working at first base with Vargas to keep him more versatile than just a DH. He has massive power, we know that. But the one thing, Ron, they don't want him to become is just a guy that hits homers. I mean, they want him to become a complete hitter and player.
Well, it's kind of tough, though, unless they plan on, giving Mauer some DH days this year. Mauer is going to be there every day, first baseman. So, unfortunately for Vargas, really no place for him to play.
And unfortunately for Vargas, he's just become the 3rd strikeout victim for Shane Green.
It's early, but Green looks outstanding. All 3 of his pitches working beautifully so far here today. That's another 2-seam fastball, bottom of the zone at 94 with some late life on it.
Vargas thought it might have been a tad low, but he is rung up by Lance Barksdale. 2 outs for Trevor Plouffe. Swing and a miss.
They have not given Plouffe anything inside. They haven't given Dozier, the second baseman, anything inside Price and Sanchez. And so far here today, a Green, real nice location.
Just a little bit off the plate. Even when Green is missing, it's by a smidge. 15 of his 20 pitches so far have been strikes. And down the left field line, a base hit. That'll be the first base runner of the day as Plouffe takes a wide turn. He'll hold up with a 2-out single.
And one of the things against Trevor Plouffe, and we just brought it up, the fact that they have pitched him away with regularity. But here's a breaking ball that stays pretty much up and in on him, and that allows him to get out in front of it and hit it back to left field for a solid single.
Here's Eduardo Escobar.
We had a feeling that he would get his first start of the year yesterday. after the Minnesota Twins have gotten off to such a slow start from an offensive standpoint.
Pull that one foul.
He was one of their better offensive performers last year. He had a great spring, and he wore out Tigers pitching in 2014.
Well, you had more than a feeling. You predicted it because they brought him on as a pinch hitter for Dozier in the 8th inning of yesterday's game, knowing that probably he would be in there today. But they have to find somehow, some way to jumpstart that offense today. And Escobar, as you mentioned, just raked in spring camp.
He doesn't get cheated. Not real big in stature, but he's got a little pop in his bat.
1-1 on Escobar. Twins last year were 70-92 in 5th place in the Central Division. There were hopes that they would take the next step forward. Then they lost Urban Santana, one of their starting pitchers, to a suspension. That's in the air to center field. It hit well. Ghost is on the run. Still going back. Still going back. Runs it down right in front of the wall.
I see you, Anthony Ghost.
About the speed of Anthony Ghost. Tigers baseball today, presented by Belt Tire.
Season with fractures to both chins, but man, he is off to a terrific start so far this year, hitting the ball everywhere, and he's finding holes every time he puts the ball in play. He's also stolen a couple of bases, and you all know what he does with that glove when he's playing that shortstop position.
Well, Menards brings you the big money encounter, and how about the hit leaders so far early this season? It's Mr. Iglesias at the top of that list with 6. No Twin has more than 2 so far this year. I know you were not worried in spring camp when Iglesias was having trouble getting base hits because he basically was rounding back into shape, but I guess it kind of shows that sometimes spring training numbers don't mean a whole lot, if not all the time. We banged that one foul off his foot.
Especially for guys that, you know, he's not a veteran player, but he's also a guy that knew he had a position. He knew he was going to be the starting shortstop. So for guys like Iglesias, guys that know their positions are secure, they go into spring training trying to work on things.
The thing I wonder about a guy like Iglesias coming off the 2 surgeries on his shins is how long it takes him in spring training to finally realize, okay, I'm good, I can let it go now, I'm healthy, instead of worrying about maybe re-aggravating the injury. Gibson's 0-2 off the plate.
I'm sure he was concerned, especially because early in spring training, I believe his first slide when he was stealing a bag, he slid too late and went right off one of his shins, and he had to leave the game.
Now Gibson ready with the 1-2. And Iglesias loops one into left field, but it's going to be caught. 1 out.
Well, we talk about Ghost and the fact that he covers as much ground as any center fielder in the game. He was starting in left center field, and he got on his horse and ran this ball down at the warning track off of the bat of Escobar. He covered about 50 feet running that ball down.
Doesn't really look like he runs. It more looks like he glides to the ball, which makes it all that much more impressive. You talk about the fact that he likes to play shallow. He can go back and get it. And Ghost takes strike one. I think the Tigers knew what they were getting defensively out of Ghost. I'm sure they weren't really convinced or knew what they were getting offensively, but the early returns have been very good. There's the ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, they figured he was better than a 227 hitter or whatever he hit for Toronto last year.
Getting an opportunity really to play a whole lot more than he did with the Blue Jays. I mean, you've got to consider that last year Anthony Ghost was up and down 6 separate times with their big club and AAA club. So I mean, that was a lot of shuffling. He never really got settled. Kinsler waiting on deck. And the 1-2. Ghost is now 4 for 7 to start the new campaign. He's picked up 3 RBIs already. And his 3-hit game yesterday matched his career high. So that didn't take long. Little number. This is going to be a tough play, and it's going to be no play for Trevor Plouffe. No chance. So Ghost is getting hits every kind of way. They'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup, and Kinsler has had the Bernstein advantage against Kyle Gibson, 6 for 14 in his career, which computes out to 429.
And he's probably going to get a fastball or 2 here from Gibson, especially with Ghost standing on first base. Ghost has tremendous speed over there, but we also told you that Gibson doesn't take a whole lot of time giving his catcher time to throw.
Strike one.
One of the things that we will see Anthony Ghost do this year, and we saw him do it in spring training, he likes to use a delayed steal. Even though he has really good speed, he'll go out there and give you 2 or 3 really nice crow hops and try to catch the defense on their heels and simply steal second base.
You know, when you see the delayed steal, Rod, you wonder how it ever works, because the guy gets such a late jump, but I guess it's the element of surprise that makes that work.
And you're not necessarily trying to steal it against the catcher, but what you're trying to get is you're trying to get your infielders to relax a little bit, put their head down, because they don't see you go initially, and they don't pay attention to you, and they don't get to the bag, which allows the catcher to throw a guy like Ghost out that has that kind of speed. Brett Osmond says he loves a delayed steal.
Ghost was a prolific base stealer in the minor leagues. He stole over 100 bases.
He's got a huge lead over there, even though Kyle Gibson has a pretty quick move.
Let me correct that. He stole over 200 bases. In fact, almost 300. 271. His stolen base totals in the minors. A couple of times 70 or more. 2 balls, 1 strike on Kinsler. Herman is not a guy you would consider to be a frontline everyday big league catcher. He's a guy that plays multiple positions, so really hasn't had too many opportunities.
And that last fastball that was a ball that was up was pretty much like a pitch out. They thought maybe Ghost was going to be on the move, and he was trying to help his catcher out.
There he goes. And a bouncing ball foul to third base. 2-2 on Kinsler. He'll get things to Miguel Cabrera. He's waiting his turn on deck. 3-hour, 36-minute rain delay for this one here today. Supposed to start this game a little past 1 o'clock. And we had to wait about 3.5 hours. The Tigers quickly got 2 runs in the first inning. Ooh, that one a little bit closer. Here's the 2-2. Runner bluffs, and it's grounded foul again. Rattle around the Tiger dugout. Kinsler walking a run, scored in the first as Gibson walked 2 batters in that first inning. The Tigers, in fact, sent 8 men to the plate in the first. Lifted in the air to center. Schaefer coming over. Kinsler is retired for the second out. And that sends up Miguel Cabrera. Mickey fly to center field back in the first.
Well, you wonder if Brad will keep the green light on here and allow Ghost to steal a second base with Miggy standing in the batter's box. And really the only reason why you would let him do it is because if they want to pitch around Miguel, you have Victor that's batting right behind Miguel. But if he does run, it's going to be very close at second base because Gibson's only taken about 1.1 second to get the ball to the catcher, which is nearly impossible for most guys to steal a base. But Ghost has really good speed. Guys like Rajay Davis, Ghost,
they don't care. They're
Kinsler. Yeah, they all have the green light too until Brad takes the green light off. But you're right, they're all fearless when they're on the base paths.
Another throw, and Ghost gets back in. And I assume that has to be at the top of the list of traits that you have to be a very good base stealer.
Can't be afraid. And typically pitchers that are about 1-3, 1-4, guys like Ghost, Kinsler, Davis, even someone like Cespedes, Iglesias, they can steal at will. Yeah, but everything has to go right for you if you're going to steal a base with Gibson on the mound.
Ooh, that was really close. Gibson thought he might have gotten him. About as close as you can get. Gibson put that ball right in the bag. Anthony has not stolen in the regular season. He had 6 in spring training, and Paul Molitor's arguing something now. And I think Molitor is going to want to do some instant replay here. So they're going to check that last pickoff throw.
Well, they might lose their challenge for the rest of this game because having a look at it, looked like Ghost was able to get back.
Well, let's take a few more looks at what they're going to challenge here. Here's that second look, which might be a little bit better.
It's awfully close. The only thing is, does the glove get on the right side of the body of Ghost before that right hand does? It'll be awfully close.
The one change this year is in the challenges, as the manager does not have to walk out and wait until they decide whether or not they want to challenge a play. They can alert the umpires, hey, we're looking at it right now, give us a second and we may challenge this, which is what Molitor did, and then he eventually came out.
And if you win the challenge early in a game, you retain your challenge.
But right now the call on the field is safe at first base. We'll see if they decide to call Ghost out. But you saw probably the 2 best replays that we've had to take a look at. Ghost at first base after reaching on an infield single, and with 1 out, and Cabrera at the dish. Gibson with a really good pickoff move nearly got him, and we're waiting on the decision whether or not he did get him. I know one thing, they're taking a look at this extremely closely, and now Joe West, I think, will take the headsets off. What do we got? Safe. Well, Paul Molitor rolled the dice, gave it a shot, but Ghost got back in. That challenge took over 2 minutes. I think 2:08 was the official time on that challenge. No balls, 1 strike on Miguel Cabrera. And another pickoff throw. It's one of the things that managers kind of roll the dice in when you challenge this early in a ball game, because if you lose your challenge, you don't know what the rest of the ball game is going to bring you. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gibson 9 for 11 in first pitch strikes. He had a very long first inning, though. Trying to get his pitch count back in order. It's already at 44. And the 1-1. Victor Martinez lurking on deck.
That last pitch, a really good changeup thrown by Gibson. Normally, he does not throw his changeup to right-handed batters. He throws it a lot more to left-handers.
Fouled away. Cabrera last year put together his 11th consecutive season, 11 in a row now of at least 100 RBIs. And I'm sure, barring injury, we'll get there again this year. Missed it inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Going to try that changeup again.
Bouncing in. Three to the count. Ghost will be on the move with 2 outs. Meanwhile, Shane Green waiting his turn to head back out to the mound. He's been really good so far. Real efficient with his pitches. Tigers have given him a 2-0 lead early in this game. The 3-2 is ball 4. He lost him outside. Another walk for Gibson. 2 of those in the first inning. Hey, by the way, see the Tigers battle the Chicago White Sox at Comerica Park Friday, April 17th at 1:08. First 10,000 fans receive a free April in the D fleece beanie courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. They decided not to have us wear these. Instead, Fox Sports Detroit girl Angela is modeling the beanie.
Yeah, she looks a little bit better in it than we would.
She looks a lot better in it. There's no question. Score yourself one of those Fox Sports Detroit beanies. Here's Victor Martinez. Three walks now for Gibson. And we'll see if Victor can make him pay. Ball 1.
He's doing a nice job for the most part with his first pitch strikes with the Tigers. Even after they fall behind, they've been able to work some counts back into their favor against Gibson. Already 50 pitches thrown.
As you like to say, is that good?
No.
The 1-0. Hammered back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Tigers off to a 2-0 start, trying to make it 3-0 on the season. Kansas City off to a nice start as well.
A lot of people weren't really talking about Kansas City. The experts out there at the beginning of the year, a lot of people weren't really giving them the respect they earned by going to the World Series last year.
Well, they beat the White Sox again today, starting the season 3-0. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. We talked about how this is really an important stretch for the Tigers because typically you don't play as many games within the division as the Tigers will the first month and a half of the year. So getting off to a good start is imperative. Those guys right there, Iglesias, Kinsler, Cespedes, they've been a big part of the success early on. Here's the 2-1. Drilled and through, a base hit. Here comes Ghost rounding third. He's going to score. Cabrera will go to third base, and Victor Martinez makes it 3-0 Detroit.
Yeah, Victor got himself into a nice fastball count, but got a changeup from Gibson. Stayed on it nicely and hit it right back through the center of the diamond. Tremendous balance for Victor. Nice rotation, getting out on that stiff front leg. He's got a pretty swing from both sides of the dish.
Meanwhile, there's a visit on the mound now. Neil Allen is out to talk with his right-hander Gibson. Tigers have picked up 3 early runs. The RBIs belong to Victor and J.D. Martinez and Yoenis Cespedes. Still with 2 outs, an opportunity for J.D. You had to believe the Tigers were going to wait as long as they possibly could today, the way they've been swinging the bats, the way they've been pitching. They certainly wanted to get this one in, and so far so good. They lead by 3. Now J.D. Martinez. RBI single back in the first. Ball 1. You get the feeling opposing pitchers this year, Rod, are going to have some elevated pitch counts against this Tigers offense.
It's a tough lineup. It's a very tough lineup. It's going to be difficult for most pitchers to get through this lineup 4 times during the course of the game without somebody getting you. Especially when you have quality hitters like Miggy, who's already headed to the Hall of Fame. Victor, one of the best switch hitters in the game of baseball. Cespedes, Martinez, Kinsler. It's a deep, deep lineup.
Nice 2-0 count here for J.D. He lets it go and swings and misses. Well, the Tigers had 324 in this series with men in scoring position. Anthony goes on base 2 more times in this game, and he has scored a couple of runs. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Martinez. Another deep breath for Kyle Gibson, the 27-year-old. Who has been in trouble most of the afternoon. You've got Cabrera and Martinez occupying third and first. And the 2-2. Rolled foul down the third base line. There is Yoenis Cespedes waiting on deck. Martinez, J.D. that is, showed no signs this spring of slowing down after that huge September and really huge 2014. He hit 5 home runs this spring. And he missed inside, 3-2.
And Gibson threw 27 pitches in the first inning. He's already thrown 32 in this inning.
Martinez will be on the move from first. There he goes. A pop-up right at home plate. And it's hauled in by Herman to retire the side. Tigers add another. They lead 2, and we go to the third. Green has been hanging around all day. He had that 3-hour, 36-minute rain delay to start the game, and then 25 minutes to get back out here for the third inning. The Tigers have had some lengthy half innings, but Green, it has not affected him. And really, when you look at both of these staffs, there's a big difference in how both of these starting staffs have performed in this series.
Well, you knew it would be that way. That's one of the areas where the Twins struggled last year. And Terry Ryan, their general manager, he continues to do everything possible to get Paul Molitor a quality starting staff. And the Tigers, well, they've had one of the best starting staffs in baseball the last number of years.
Herman was due up to start this inning, but Kurt Suzuki is going to pinch hit for him. You may recall that Herman took that foul tip that opened up a cut on the bridge of his nose. Don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Well, with everyone being so cautious these days with the concussion-like symptoms, he took a pretty nice blow there in the first inning, so that might be an area of concern.
So Suzuki, who batted .288 last year, will take over now behind the dish and pinch hit. And Joe Mauer, of course, I guess he'd become the backup catcher. They don't want him catching anymore. Three runs, 5 hits for Detroit. The Twins, no runs on 1 hit. Shane Green has 3 strikeouts in this game, and he brings home a strike. It seems like he's been doing that all day long. 19 of his 25 total pitches have been strike called, or swung on and missed, or put in play, but they were strikes. Suzuki, good year last year for Minnesota. Looks at another strike, and now he's down on the count 0-2.
Commanding his fastball very well. His two-seamer to both sides of the plate. Most of the time, guys will go one side with a four-seamer and then use their two-seamer to go to the other side, but he's using his two-seam fastball to the left-handers and the right-handers, inside and outside.
Foul tip into the glove for strike 3, and Suzuki has made quick work of. That's the 4th strikeout for Green. Time for a game break now. We check back into the studio with Matt Shepard. Probably the blown no-no, just based on what I think. They should focus on the win. Last Indian to throw a no-hitter was Len Barker, and that was back in, what, 81?
Large Lenny.
So it looked like they might have a combined no-hitter today, but Jed Lowry had other ideas.
Well, that's why so many people are very excited about the Cleveland Indians starting staff, led by Corey Kluber, who won a Cy Young last year. Carrasco struck out 10 yesterday, and Bauer struck out 11 Houston Astros today.
Little number to third, and Schaefer is out.
But those Astros, they can swing and miss a little bit.
Boy, can they. Bauer walked a lot of guys today, though, I think.
5, to be exact. 29 total pitches so far thrown by Green. 23 strikes, just 6 have missed the strike zone.
Well, one time through the lineup for the Twins, and Green has gone 8 of 9 in first pitch strikes. What's that old cliche they use about pitching coaches? What's the best pitch in baseball?
Strike one.
Strike one. And the Tigers have done that plenty this afternoon. There's a strike called on Danny Santana. Santana, strikeout victim in the first. Waves and misses, down to the count 0-2.
It's a nice changeup there thrown by Green. You're going to see that pitch a lot from him this year against left-handed batters. That's the one thing that they really worked on long and hard in spring training, was for him to develop the kind of confidence to throw that changeup to not only lefties but righties too.
Little tapper foul down the third base line.
95. He's pumped up today.
Twins now, dating back to late last season, have not scored here at Comerica Park in over 30 innings. The 0-2. High fly ball. Easy play for the center fielder, Ghost. I'll tell you what, Shane Green not messing around today. He has been in absolute command of this one as the Tigers lead it by a score of 3-0. Well on opening day, then Sanchez in game 2, and Shane Green has been really good here in game 3.
A lot of first pitch strikes. His breaking ball has been very good with nice tilt, and I really love the action on his circle changeup.
Shane Green threw 10 pitches in the third, all of them strikes. So the Twins really haven't mustered much of a challenge here today. As the Tigers come to the dish now in the third. They've got Cespedes, Castellanos, and Avila. Kurt Suzuki will stay in the game and do the catching. He pinch hit for Chris Herman. Cespedes an RBI single back in the first. Tigers got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. And the walks have been an issue as well for Gibson. He's walked 3 in this game. And Yoenis looks at a strike, 0-1. Tigers give up Rick Porcello to get Yoenis Cespedes from the Boston Red Sox. And Rick made his Red Sox debut last night against the Phillies and took a loss. Here's the 1-1. Driven to center field. Cespedes with a solid single. Well, he is 2 for 2.
It's a nice swing here by Cespedes. The 90-mile-per-hour two-seam fastball that's kind of running in on him, and he pulls his hands in nicely and hits it right back through the center of the diamond. This is an absolute thing of beauty. Tigers have some guys in this starting lineup that can rake.
You often worry when you come out of spring training because the temperatures are in the mid-80s. Everybody's bat seems to be hot. Then you get in the cold, frigid weather of the Midwest, and sometimes those bats go silent.
No issue for these guys.
Here's Castellanos. He fly to center field back in the first inning. And Nick looks at ball 1.
It may not be a bad time to put a hit and run on. You know, Gibson has some real good sink on his fastball, and if Castellanos does hit it on the ground, they would stay out of the double play. It's one way to get some guys moving on the base pass. You're not going to steal bases with Gibson out there.
Also might get Nick going a little bit. He's 0 for 8 to start the year, and he cuts and misses 1-1. Swings, lines one to left field, but it's going to be caught by Escobar. First out of the inning. Well, Saturday MLB returns to Fox Sports 1 with a doubleheader as the Red Sox take on the Yankees in the Bronx, followed by a playoff rematch. The Royals battling Mike Trout and the Angels. Coverage begins Saturday, April 11th at 12:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, and it's also streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Avila with 1 on, 1 out. Bouncing ball to the second baseman his first time up, 0 for 1 for Alex. High fly ball hit well to center field. Schaefer going back at the edge of the warning track to bring it in. The ballpark swallowed that one up. 2 gone. We'll bring up Iglesias. Flat out to left in his only at bat. Ball 1 high. Iglesias, because of the injury last year, has not played since the 2013 season. Of course, he split time that year with the Red Sox and the Tigers. There's a strike call. And Jose had a pretty good year that year. He ended up batting .303 and finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting that year to Will Myers. Those are the 2013 numbers with the Tigers. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Dozier, tough play, throws him out. Nicely done. Inning is over. No runs and a hit. 1 man left. We go to the 4th. Got this one started late against the Twins, but they got off to a nice start.
Well, they scored 11 runs yesterday, and they got off to a really good start here again today. They drove in runs. That was J.D. Martinez, Cespedes, and Victor Martinez. Martinez drove his run in the second inning.
There's our Comerica Bank game summary to this point. And if you're just getting home from work wondering, what are these guys doing on the air? Well, we had that long rain delay. Meanwhile, Shane Green has done some really good work. They'll go back to the hill in the fourth inning facing Dozier, Mauer, and Hunter. These are the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Minnesota.
Kind of reminds you of Porcello standing on the mound with that slender body.
I agree. I was thinking of that the first time I saw him pitch in spring training. Didn't really notice it last year when he was with the Yankees. But he really does resemble Rick physically.
He's been on point so far here today. Nearly first pitch strikes on every single Minnesota Twins hitter that has gone up there. The fastball, the slider, the cutter, and the changeup all working very nicely.
Out in front that time. 0-2. 3-6-0 for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Minnesota. A single by Trevor Plouffe in the second is their only hit. Popped in the air. It's in the shallow center field. Ghost coming in. Dozier is out. Now Joe Mauer. Well, I know the Tigers' starting pitching has been really good, and anytime you face David Price and Anibal Sanchez, it's going to be a challenge, and even Shane Green today. But it is kind of surprising that the Twins really have struggled as much as they have, and even get guys in scoring position. And they've just not been able to get anything going. Joe Mauer is 0 for 1 in this game, 2 for 8 in the series. Strike one.
He's thrown 14 straight strikes.
Unbelievable. 32 of the 38 have been strikes today for Green. That one just missed. Popped up. Maybe routine. Iglesias. Well, maybe not. He's coming into the grass to make the catch. It looked routine. 2 outs. When you go back to last year, the Twins put up 10 or more hits in 11 games against the Tigers. 11 times they had 10 or more hits.
They averaged 6 runs a game against the Tigers in the 19 meetings last season.
Much different story this year. I'm sure Paul Molitor expected some of that in this series, but so far none of that. Here's Torrey. Strike one to Hunter. Yet another first pitch strike for Green. $12 of 13 now for Shane. Yikes. And I mean yikes in a good way. Here's the 0-1. So now Hunter behind in the count 0-2. Torrey is able to spoil that one back into the seats. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Shane.
Shane has already gotten up to 95 with a 4-seam fastball last half inning. He won't get much higher than that.
He's retired 6 in a row. Right back up the middle and just out of the reach of a diving Ian Kinsler. And for Torrey Hunter, it's going to be his first hit of the season.
And not a good 0-2 pitch there thrown by Green, basically just trying to blow Torrey Hunter away. And Torrey hit an absolute missile right back at him.
Hardest hit ball the Twins have had today.
Hardest hit ball of the series.
Here's Kenny Vargas. Vargas shoots one in the air toward the left. On the move toward the line is Cespedes. And Yoenis will get there to retire the side. When we go to the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Anthony Gose to lead it off. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here at Comerica Park, home of the four-time Central Division champions, the Detroit Tigers. Going for 5 in a row this year. They're off to a nice start in 2015. Tip of the cap to the fans that stuck around today. 3-hour, 36-minute rain delay. And they've watched their Tigers put up 3 early runs as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Anthony Gose on base 2 more times today, single and a double. Takes ball 1 outside from Kyle Gibson. Gose, Kinsler, and Cabrera top of the Tigers lineup here in the 4th inning. Bouncing ball right side. It's going to find a hole, and Anthony Gose remains red hot. It's back-to-back 3-hit games.
Everything that he hits finds a hole. Joe Mauer, playing over at first base, took a couple of steps to his right and then got back to the bag, but Dozier not able to knock it down. Dozier with exceptional range at second base.
Well, they kept a very close eye on Gose in his last at bat in the second after he reached on an infield hit, continually throwing to first base. And Kinsler looks at a strike. Fly ball and a walk for Ian. He has also scored a run.
And 4 RBI day yesterday for Ian Kinsler.
Spins inside and the count goes 1-1. Kinsler last year nearly got to the 200 hit plateau, and that's one of those plateaus that players will put upon themselves to try and reach 200. He finished with 188, and had he had a stronger second half, certainly would have gotten there. Ian's numbers last year in the first half, he had 303 but dipped down to 239 in the second half. As Gose continues to mess with Gibson. Oh, here's a throw down to second base by Suzuki. Going to be late. Off the glove. Gose going to try and get to third. And the throw there is not in time.
There's that delayed steal that we were talking about the last time that he was on base. It's very difficult to steal a base conventionally against Gibson because he's so quick. But take a look at Ghost. 1, 2, 3. He catches the defense on their toes, on their heels, and then he just runs. That time he caught Suzuki sleeping. What a play. Let me take one more look at it. 1, 2, 3 aggressive crow hops, and then he just takes off. Ball fumbled a little bit by Suzuki, but it was going to be difficult for him to throw Ghost out anyway.
Well, you talk about working that play to perfection. Man, oh man, Ghost has certainly added an element of excitement.
The guys on the bench love it.
Infield in for the Twins. Man at third, nobody out. 3-1 is in the air toward left field. Escobar coming over. Ghost tagging. Ball back in the seats there.
I was talking to Brad Osmus one afternoon down in Florida, and we were talking about the delayed steal. And I was asking him, why would a guy like Ghost use a delayed steal when he has that kind of speed? And he says, because you know what you do is it's not necessarily the catcher that you're stealing the base on, but it's the middle infielders. If they don't see you running initially, they may put their head down, and then a guy like Ghost that has that kind of speed, it's going to take a perfect throw from the catcher to get you out.
And he lost him, ball 4.
And the thing about that, Mario, what I'm telling our fans out there, the Minnesota Twins know too, because they've watched some Tigers in spring training games, and they have scouts that have been following the Tigers, but yet Ghost still able to pull it off.
I guess I never thought of the aspect of stealing a base against the infielders, but it's so true. Well, it looks like Lane Boyer's warming up now in the bullpen for Minnesota as the pitch count continues to elevate here for Gibson. Tigers threatening yet again. They lead 3-0 in the 4th inning. Cabrera takes ball 1. Nolasco, who started the game yesterday, had 4 walks in his start, 4 for Gibson today. Miggy waves and misses 1-1. So there is number 80 in the pitch count. We are just in the 4th inning. It's been such a contrast when you look at Shane Green, 45 pitches through 4. Here's the 1-1. Back him out of there, 2-1. Doing his best to stay in this game as long as he can for Paul Molitor.
And Molitor now having a conversation with his new pitching coach, Neil Allen.
And Cabrera looks at a ball outside, 3-1.
Well, if he decides to throw Miggy another one of those breaking balls that Miggy swung through earlier in this at bat, Miggy's going to hit it extremely hard somewhere if he gets it up in the strike zone. Miggy's such a smart hitter, especially with runners in scoring position. He's always one step ahead of the opposing pitcher. Here comes that breaking ball.
Three and 2.
Miggy just a hair too quick with that front shoulder. He knew he was going to get this breaking ball, and his eyes lit up. It's right over the heart of the plate, but he was just too aggressive on his swing. And Miggy knows it.
Inning started with a single by Ghost, advanced to second on a steal, went to third on a bad throw, and then a walk to Kinsler.
You can put Kinsler on the move here if you want to. If you're Brad, you have a lot of trust in Miguel that he's not going to strike out.
Let's see what Brad decides here. If Kinsler's on the move or not. Nope, he's holding steady, and it's a ball inside. Another walk. 5 base on balls now for the right-hander Gibson. And here comes Neil Allen again. Boyer has been warming up. Well, we invite you to have your picnic or party at an upcoming Tigers game. 2015 group picnics and party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discounted tickets to select games. Very simple. Call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com and check in on the picnic and party suites. They're on sale right now. Boyer should be ready. He has been warming up in their bullpen. But for now, Gibson remains in the game with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Gibson made 31 starts last year for the Minnesota Twins, and in only one start did he walk 5 batters.
Meanwhile, Shane Green, no trouble at all here today. He's thrown 45 pitches. And he's scattered just a couple of hits. They're loaded up for Victor Martinez. Victor had a single to knock in a run back in the second, so has walked in this game. And he shoots a ground ball short. They'll flip to second for 1, and the relay is in plenty of time for a double play. And he'll get another run in as Ghost comes around to score. But there are 2 outs now. And no RBI for Martinez on the double play. Tigers lead now 4-0 in this game. We'll bring up J.D. Martinez. J.D. had an RBI single back in the first. And he checks his swing. Did he go? He did not. DJ Rayburn down there at first base.
You got a DJ down at first base and a JD in the batter's box.
Here's the 1-0. It's pulled down the left field line. I thought you were going to go with the Country Joe music angle on that DJ reference. But JD's all right. That's a good reference. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 Tigers hits in this game, just 2 for the Twins. Gibson desperately needed that double play ball off the bat of Martinez. JD swings and misses. 1-2. Single double homer in this series for Martinez. He drives this one in the air deep into right field. Way back. Torrey Hunter will watch this one sail halfway up the stands and right.
How in the world does a right-hander hit the ball that far the opposite way on the line? It's an absolute blast by J.D. Martinez. His 2nd homer of the year.
Goodness, that thing, you're right. You don't see line drives going the other way that often.
And it was so loud. He fooled him with a breaking ball on the previous pitch, and then he thought he could sneak that cheese by him, but JD wasn't having any of that. What a pretty swing by Martinez.
Torrey Hunter turned around only because he really had to. I mean, there's no chance for him to get that ball, but J.D. Martinez hits his 2nd of the year of line drive homer to right. That's finally going to be it for Kyle Gibson. So homer number 2 on the season for JD, and he's got 3 RBIs today. And that means Boyer's going to have to come into this ball game. Rough day for Gibson. He just could not find the strike zone. Was throwing a ton of pitches every inning.
take one more look at the swing by J.D. Martinez, the swing that he worked so hard on last offseason. He carried it into spring training, but the Astros didn't give him much time to find the stroke, but the Tigers signed him to a AAA contract, and man, look at the numbers with Houston 2011 through 13, and then the 1 year he spent in the Motor City.
It has certainly been a bright spot, a great find for the Tigers.
You don't see many right-handers hit the ball that far the opposite way.
You don't see many left-handers pull the ball that far.
That's a great point.
Meanwhile, as Gibson departs the scene, the Twins again have to go to the bullpen early in this game. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change here. The numbers last season on Blaine Boyer.
And Boyer pitched yesterday as well. He pitched 1 inning. He gave up a couple of hits, and he gave up 1 earned run. Pitched in 32 ball games last year for Minnesota.
Boyer had himself a really good spring training, had an ERA of 1.26 this spring, and this is his first year in the American League. He's been exclusively in the National League in his career with the Cardinals, the Atlanta Braves, and the Diamondbacks. J.D. knocks Gibson out of the game after 3 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs earned. Boyer now will face Cespedes with the bases empty. He'll look at strike 1. Yoenis has had a good day, a couple of hits and an RBI. The Tigers now have 8 hits already on the scoreboard. Big rip there by Yoenis.
Boy, you better get that ball down.
They're still yapping about that home run. Hey, Mickey, can you hit it that hard? Mickey's like, yeah, I've done that a few times. The 0-2. High, towering fly ball to left. Escobar is going to camp up. And Cespedes is out. However, the Tigers had their lead. J.D. with a missile to right. And he talks about the trade that brought him from New York to the Motor City.
Really, you just have to take a step back, like I said, and just evaluate everything and evaluate yourself. And for me, I've used it as motivation, you know, that feeling of getting dumped as motivation, and coming here is like a whole bunch of excitement. You know, it's a new chapter in not only my life, but my career as well.
Well, I guess there's always two ways of looking at a trade: the team that let you go and the team that picked you up. And it's probably better just to focus on the new situation.
That's right. It's a good situation here in the Motor City.
He's got this offense to back him up on a nightly basis. He's smack dab in the middle of a really good rotation. Just a soft roller to third baseman Castellanos. Trevor is down, one gone.
Take a peek at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Shane Green making his first start in the home white, and man, has he been sensational. He's got some nice action with his two-seam fastball. He's climbed the ladder with some fastballs, four-seam variety, some good breaking balls down and away from the right-handers, and I've been impressed with the change-ups that he's thrown here today. And if he continues to use all three of his pitches as effective as he's had through the first 3 innings here today, man, they are going to be on to something here.
They'll be in good shape, no doubt. Escobar, the batter, with 1 out. Eduardo fly to center field his only time, and he watches that one right into the glove for a strike. 1-1. Bouncing ball right side under the glove of Cabrera into right field. Just the third hit of the game now for Minnesota, all of them singles.
If they allow Escobar to do so, he'll take somebody's job in that starting lineup. He can hit.
As they say, if you can hit, they will find you a spot.
That's for sure.
Kurt Suzuki bats for the second time. Chris Herman started the game, was taken out of the contest. Suzuki replaced him and struck out as a pinch hitter back in the third. Bouncing ball to short, should be 2. 6, 4, 3. So even after giving up a base hit, Shane Green on the very next pitch gets a double play. He threw 6 pitches in that inning. Forget it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Visit the life-size bobbleheads of Detroit Tigers Victor Martinez and Ian Kinsler. We're at the GM Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit. If you'd like more information on April in the D, visit foxsportsdetroit.com. And here's a look at those big old bobbleheads down there. There's Ian Kinsler. And there's Victor's. Down in the Rensen downtown. There's Castellanos. Nick fouls it back out of play 0-1. Bottom 3 for the Tigers: Castellanos, Sevilla, and Iglesias. Detroit 6 runs, 8 hits, and for the visiting Twins, no runs, 3 hits. Blaine Boyer came on, got the final out of the 4th inning. After Gibson was knocked out of the game. We'll shoot that one toward the gap in left center field. There is your first hit of the season for Castellanos. It'll go to the gap in left center. Nick chugging to third, and he'll make it with no throw.
Just a matter of time before Castellanos got on the board. That's a fastball down the bottom of the strike zone. That classic inside-out swing ripped to left center field. And Castellanos is one that does not hit many triples, but once he got to second base, he was sniffing it out and was able to get over there.
It's the 3rd triple the Tigers have had in this series. Infield in again.
4 triples last year for Castellanos.
Avila, fly ball and a ground out. Checked it up high, 1-0. That is 9 Tigers hits. They had 15 hits yesterday. High again, 2 balls, no strikes. There's Iglesias waiting on deck. Avila rips it 2-0 into right field, a solid single and an RBI.
Real nice at bat by Avila. He laid off 2 fastballs that were up in the strike zone. He knew exactly which pitch he wanted. He wanted something that he could hit hard to the pull field. He just turns on this 90-mile-per-hour fastball that's down and in. Very impressed with the Tigers' approach the first 3 days of the year.
3rd RBI of the year for Alex Avila. That extends the Tigers' lead to 7-0. Here's Jose Iglesias. He's 0 for 2, fly out, ground out. Strike 1 for Boyer. Give the Tigers an even 10 hits now. To 3rd on a line, and a nice backhanded play by Plouffe. It'll bring him Anthony Gose. How about this for his Tigers debut? You really can't do a whole lot better than that.
Real nice.
Got a great walk-up tune too. Summertime.
One of the best summer songs of all time.
Yeah. Here's the strike call. Ghost has scored all 3 times that he's been on base today. Hitting a cool .667 to start the year.
Speaking of music, you know Prince is next door tonight, right?
That's right. You can try and sneak over there.
Well, you want to stay here and get in the car and go to Cleveland in the morning?
Well, we can stick around for a set and run it out to the airport real quick.
Go check out Prince. Now, he puts on a good show.
I have never seen Prince.
Oh, he puts on a real good show.
1-2 on Ghost.
Prince is from Minnesota.
I was going to say he's from Minnesota, so the timing here is perfect.
Used to have that club called First Avenue right down there close to the ballpark. With Morris Day and the time.
I ain't got the time. You ain't got the time. Morris Day ain't got the time. Boyer's 1-2. That's again spoiled back into the seats. Kinsler waiting on deck. It's been all Tigers today as they go for the sweep of these Twins. For as much as the offense has been a story today, really encouraged by what we've seen out of Shane Green.
Cool as a cucumber.
Another one back out of play. And Ghost continues to give Boyer fits. Really battling up there in this at bat. Breaking ball that he was able to foul back out of play and stay alive. What a tough out he has been. Goes on an opening day roster for the first time in his career. Never did it with the Blue Jays. He went around that time. Tried to hold up, but he's rung up by Lance Barksdale. First strikeout for Boyer, 2 gone. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Kinsler has walked a couple of times. He's 0 for 1. Open in 1-0. What was the first concert you ever saw? You remember?
No, I don't really remember, but it was, you know, it was in Santa Monica, and I know it was at the Santa Monica Civic Center. It was somebody like Kool and the Gang or
Nice.
Lakeside or, you know, one of them 70s groups.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. High fly ball. That's into left field and playable for Escobar. And that is that. Tigers get another run, but across the straight later tonight, Prince.
The hit and run tour.
Yes. It's 10-3, and Shane Green has been one of the main stories here this afternoon. And the lack of offense for the Minnesota Twins to start the year has been kind of shocking. The Tigers, meanwhile, longest shutout streak to begin a season is 32 innings by the 1963 Cardinals, with the Tigers right now are at 23 innings, which is tied for third. So they got a ways to go, but man, this has been fairly easy to this point for Detroit. Jordan Schaefer will lead it off for the Minnesota Twins. And a ball outside, 1-0. Schaefer, Santana, Dozier. Here's the 1-0. That's in for a strike. Schaefer bounced out his first time up. The only 3 hits that Green has allowed, all singles. Hunter has 1, Escobar has 1. And Trevor Plouffe has the other. Little pop-up. Foul ground, Castellanos. 1 out. While we have a moment here, let's go back to the studio for a game break. Here's Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thank you. Of course, if the Wings win, they are in. And that is the hope tonight against Montreal. That is pulled. Ooh, nice play at first by Cabrera on the short out backhand. 2 gone.
It's a nice backhanded grab over there by Miguel Cabrera. Able to get to the bag himself.
They say that when you're efficient, as Green has been, and you constantly throw strikes and you keep the game moving, you're more apt to get plays like that. Infielders are more on their toes. They're not back on their heels.
That's a great point.
Miggy with nice soft hands there. Swing and a miss. 0-1 on Dozier. Strikeout, flyout for the Twins' second baseman. Dozier last year more than 20 homers, more than 20 steals for the first time in his career. Became a 20-20 guy. And because of that, the Twins decided to lock him up. 4-year deal on March 15th, signed by Dozier. 1-2.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it's brought to you by Xfinity. And 95 has been the best fastball that Green has thrown here so far today. That came back in the second inning.
Avila blocks it. 2-2. And he wouldn't chase that time as Dozier laid off. Full count now, 3-2. How about this ratio here?
6.
6th inning, he's at 60 pitches. See, 3-2. Flare toward right field. It'll be playable for JD. Martinez hauls it in. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Another 10-pitch inning for Shane Green. Cruising. 7-0. They've given up just 3 hits in this game. Shane Green has been spectacular, and now the Minnesota Twins will have to go back to their bullpen in a wall-side windows pitching change. It is Casey Fiend.
Yeah, Fiend pitched in a lot of games last year for Minnesota, 73 of those to be exact, 63 in the 3rd innings, the ERA at 3.98. The league hit .262 against the former Tiger, Casey Fiend.
He will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Detroit lineup. That would be Cabrera, Martinez.
And for the most part, lots of fastballs thrown by Fiend in the low 90s. He also has a slider.
A couple of walks for Miguel in this game. He's also fly to center. Fiend fires it home. It's a strike. He had a really good spring training. He allowed just 1 earned run in 11 innings of work. That's an 0.82 ERA for Fiend. Fly ball right field, hit well. Hunter going back, edge of the track to make the catch. 1 out. They'll bring up Victor Martinez. Looks like the middle of the Tigers lineup doing a lot of the damage, if not most of it today. We saw the Tigers bottom of the order get into the act yesterday. Victor's got an RBI. JD's got 3 of them. Here's the shift that they will employ against Victor. Ball 1 to Martinez. On base twice, single RBI and a walk, and he also knocked into a double play with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-0. There's JD Martinez on deck. He's done a lot of damage. And the 1-1. Getting fouled. One and 2 on Victor. Victor last year led the league in on-base percentage. He led the Tigers in walks, but his on-base percentage of .409 was the best in the American League. Serious consideration for MVP honors that eventually went to Mike Trout. Missed it outside. Don't think he went. He did not, said Kerwin Danley.
And Victor also won the Edgar Martinez Award last year, which goes to the best designated hitter in the American League.
Toward left field. Escobar moving back. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game for the second time in this series. And JD Martinez has homered, and he's homered the opposite way. His home run opening day went over the out-of-town scoreboard. This home run on the line about 350 feet to right field.
Second home run of the young season for JD Martinez. He hit one on opening day in his first at bat of the year. JD doesn't hit many wall scrapers either. They're usually out by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, the ball makes a really loud sound coming off the bat of Martinez. JD, that is.
Here's the 1-0. I believe the Astros are probably kicking themselves right now. I mean, they were evaluating Martinez, and they had him in spring camp last year and let him go late. The Tigers gobbled him up.
There's a rumor circulating that their general manager, Jeff Luhnow, when they got to spring training this year, the entire staff, he told them all, we cannot make another mistake like JD Martinez.
Well, that's an organization that right now is in rebuilding mode. They have some good young talent trying to get back to above 500 baseball and challenge for a postseason spot. They could certainly use his bat in the lineup.
And they were nearly no hit today.
2-2 on Martinez. Indians won today. Kansas City beat the White Sox 4-1. Tigers comfortably ahead here, 7-0. Fly ball, shallow center field, Schaefer. And Casey Fiend has a 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the 7th. The Tigers have played a couple of complete games, the first 2 games in the series, and I guess the same could be said today. They've hit, they've pitched, they've played defense, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead as Joe Mauer leads it off in the 7th inning. And Mauer takes a ball outside from Shane Green. It'll be Mauer, then Hunter, and then Vargas. Green had thrown just 61 pitches through 6 innings. Pretty amazing today. There's a ball high and away, and you also have to consider the fact that he was sitting around for about 3.5 hours. He expected to take the hill at 1 o'clock today, and the rain just kept coming, and so we didn't get it started for, well, a 3-hour, 36-minute rain delay.
It's been no problem for Green, nor has it been a problem for his offense.
2-0 is way outside. 3-0 now on Mauer. Twins, meanwhile, have not had a whole lot going on, not only in this game, but in the series. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that is in there. 3-1. There's ball 4. Leadoff man is on for Minnesota. By the way, Sunday, April 19th, the Tigers take on the White Sox at 1:08. It's kids opening day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Tigers team baseball card set. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com for more information. First walk of the ball game now for Green. Here is Torrey Hunter. Ball one high, and now Green is going to get a visit from Alex Avila. A little bit of pacing now for Brad Ausmus, who really has not done a whole lot of pacing this entire series. Hunter with a single and a fly ball. Popped up foul, back out of play. It's like a lot of those low clouds have lifted that fog. I mean, you can actually see downtown Detroit now. There's the rain here most of the afternoon, making it a soggy day in the Motor City. But the backdrop is in full view here in downtown Detroit.
And Green looking for another ground ball here. Good breaking ball down and away. Might just get him his second double play of the evening.
1-2.
There's the breaking ball, but he left it up in the strike zone. Torrey Hunter very aggressive in the first 3 days of the season. That's a real good pitch to hit right there for Torrey, but the fact that he was very aggressive, they got out there too quick with the front shoulder and hit that ball off the end of the bat.
And the 1-2 popped up right side of the infield. To the grass goes Kinsler. Torrey's out of there. One out now for Kenny Vargas. Strikeout flyout for Vargas. He came up from Double-A last year. He immediately started to tear it up. I mean, he had 38 RBIs the last 2 months of the year. And he looks at a strike 0-1.
Minnesota not afraid to bring a guy up from Double-A to perform on their major league roster. They'll do that again this year. They've got some really good prospects in Double-A.
Yeah, you would have to think if guys like Sano and Buxton tear it up in Double-A, there's no reason to send them to Triple-A. They're two of their better prospects, at least as far as position players go.
Let them get their feet wet up here.
Here's the 0-1. Shot to center field on a line. That's going to drop. Base hit. And on his way to third, Mauer. Ball's going to get by. This is going to get a run in. It gets by the Tigers outfield, and the Twins have their first run of the series here in the 7th inning of Game 3.
Yeah, both Ghost and also Cespedes in left field really aggressive going after this double off the bat of Vargas. And it goes off the glove of of Cespedes, and Ghost. He overran it as well.
So the scoreless streak will come to an end. Seven to 1 ball game. That'll bring up Trevor Plouffe with Vargas at second. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Molitor hasn't had too many reasons to smile, but he can finally crack one now.
Yeah, it's been 3 days.
Single E7, no RBI in that play. Most managers smile when they get their first win. And Molitor's smiling with his first run. Here's the Hall of Famer taking over the reins. You know, the Twins broke up a 13-year run of Ron Gardenhire and Rick Anderson, the manager and pitching coach combination. Different look this year. Here's the 0-2. Good block by Avila. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Blaine Hardy is warming up, the left-hander, along with the righty Jabba Chamberlain. Swing and a miss. Trevor Plouffe retired. 5 strikeouts now for Green. By the way, if you didn't hear the news, Joe Nathan placed on the disabled list and Blaine Hardy recalled, so he's back up in the big leagues.
And Tigers now have 3 left-handers in their bullpen, which bodes well for them, especially going into Cleveland, a team that has a lot of left-handed bats at its disposal.
Here is Eduardo Escobar. Mentioned Green with his 5th strikeout. He averaged about 9 strikeouts per 9 innings last year with the New York Yankees. Although that was his first strikeout since the 3rd inning tonight. I guess it's officially tonight now. The 0-1. In the air to center. And Ghost cruising over. That's going to be it for the Twins. They get an unearned run. Shane Green doing a marvelous job tonight. Ahead of the Minnesota Twins by a score of 7-1 behind the offense and behind Shane Green. And this is what the offense looks like tonight. A lot of crooked numbers on that box score.
Well, really, in the first 3 games of the year here against the Minnesota Twins, up and down that lineup, there's been several contributions by all the Tigers players.
Because of a 3-hour, 36-minute rain delay here today, this one got started late. So if you tuned in expecting Red Wings live, fear not. We'll get you to the Red Wings once this game is completed here. And if we're still going, live coverage will also be on Fox Sports Detroit Plus at 7:30. So we'll see how this one goes. But plenty of Red Wings fans in attendance here tonight, hoping for a win against Montreal to get the Wings into the playoffs. A doubleheader. Tigers, Red Wings. Yoenis Cespedes leads it off. And Cespedes looks at ball 1 from the new Twins pitcher. That would be Brian Dunsing.
A 7th straight year that Dunsing has been on the opening day roster, the last 3 years primarily as a reliever.
2-0 the count.
And Paul Molitor getting the back end of his bullpen some work. Even though they're trailing, they had to get a Fiend in the game. They had to get Dunsing in the game, and more than likely Perkins will pitch the next half inning.
Cespedes, 2 more hits plus an RBI.
Cespedes came in with outstanding career numbers against the Minnesota Twins pitching. The changeup there thrown by Dunsing, tailing away from Cespedes.
Dunsing follows Fiend, who followed Boyer. The starter Gibson was knocked out of the game after the J.D. Martinez home run in the 4th.
Cespedes came in with a .366 career batting average against Twins pitching with a couple of hits. And that has gone up a little bit.
That's a yanked foul. Well, I mean, when you look at what the newcomers have done for the Tigers, at least in the first homestand of the season, you got guys like Shane Green, Anthony Gose, Cespedes. These guys have all done real well.
Tip of the cap to Dave Dombrowski, the general manager, for the moves that he made in the offseason. This might be the best Tigers team that he has had since he came to Detroit in 2002.
Fly ball, center field. Schaefer under it. The Tigers have hit a lot of fly balls in this game. That is their 14th fly ball out. So everything in the air today. Here's Castellanos, who had been hitless until his last at bat when he tripled and scored a run. J.D. Martinez again with his book out, the famed book.
Doing some studying, doing his homework.
Cabrera looks like he's plotting something. He was messing with his book last year.
He was. You don't see many guys doing what J.D. Martinez is doing here. And he's writing down every single pitch of every single at bat, exactly what the opposing pitcher did to him. Talk about student of the game.
Did they do that a lot more in your day in the big league?
No, they didn't do a lot of it either back in those days. Pretty much put it up in your memory as to what certain pitchers do to you on certain occasions. That's exactly what Miguel Cabrera says. He doesn't watch video for the most part, but he knows what the opposing pitcher is always trying to do against him. So different guys have different ways of honing their skills.
Well, it's worked for J.D. Martinez, that's for certain.
I wouldn't change if I was J.D. He's got the same walk-up song this year. He told me he was going to the same apartment that he was in last year.
Take the same route to the ballpark.
Don't change a thing, J.D.
Low 2-2 on Castellanos.
Now we just getting nosy now.
Yeah.
We all in his business.
2-2 on Nick Castellanos. That is driven foul down the right field line. Casey Fiend came out of the 6th and got the Tigers 1-2-3 the first time that happened tonight. And now Dunsing here in the 7th. And again, the 2-2 outside. Fill the count 3-2 on Castellanos. Avila waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 3-2. And he lost him. Ball 4. It is on to Cleveland after this one is here tonight. The Tigers opening up a series against the Indians. The upcoming pitching matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. It's going to be Alfredo Simon and Zach McAllister.
And Zach McAllister was pitching out of the bullpen last year, and he's got a power arm. Fastball gets up to 97, 98 miles an hour. Alfredo Simon really stepped up in his final tune-up of the year against the Tampa Bay Rays. He was outstanding.
15-game winner last year, Simon.
Made an all-star team for the Cincinnati Redlegs.
McAllister had himself a pretty good spring camp. Should be a good matchup tomorrow. Avila bends away from a bender, and it's in for a strike. Tigers today have out hit the Twins 10-4. So second consecutive game they've gone double digits in the hit column. And the 0-1. That's in the air toward right field. Torrey Hunter coming in. And Avila's out. 2 gone. Bring up Jose Iglesias, who is the only Tiger today that has not yet reached base. See if we can change that right now. Iglesias fly out, ground out, and he lined out his last time in the 5th inning. His average has plummeted all the way down to 600. And he missed inside, 1-0 the count. Iglesias got off to that absolutely scorching start. In the ball game yesterday, he was on base 5 times, scored 3 runs. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Ghosts lurking on deck. Popped up. Third base side for Plouffe. Foul ground. That will end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. 7 in the books. Let's go to the Yankees. Summary rain delay of 3 hours 36 minutes in this one. Anthony Ghosts, he's been good. Shane Green, he's been good as well.
78 total pitches thrown so far by Green today. 59 of those have hit the strike zone.
Pretty impressive all afternoon long. The only run he gave up was unearned back in the 7th. And now Green goes back to work here in the 8th. And Kurt Suzuki looks at a strike. Only 4 hits allowed today by Green. Suzuki did not start this game. Herman did behind the plate, but he came out early in this contest. Drops in for a strike. 0-2. Suzuki tried to hold. It appeared he did. So says DJ Rayburn. Only one walk, 5 strikeouts today for Shane Green. Slow roller third base side. There's Castellanos.
Let's take a look at Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game after a 3-hour and 36-minute rain delay. Shane Green came out and looked as good as Price and Sanchez the first 2 games of the year. Pitching to a lot of contact early, getting ground balls and weak fly balls. He also has gotten quite a few strikeouts today. Some on the fastball, some on the breaking ball. He's thrown some good changeups. He has been as good as advertised, making his debut in Tiger Whites.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Jordan Schaefer. He lost one in the air to center field. Goes backpedaling. 2 down.
Goes just styling out there now.
Yeah.
I see you, Anthony.
If you can do it, it ain't bragging. 2 gone.
Got his hat tilted a little to the side.
That'll bring up the top of the order. Santana goes with 6 putouts in this contest today. Santana strikeout, fly out, ground out. 0-1. Popped up, shallow left. Here comes Cespedes. It is a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Green. On to the bottom of the 8th. Here tonight.
And Chevrolet brings you the hard-working steal of the game back in the 4th inning. The delayed steal by Anthony Ghost. A couple of aggressive crow hops towards second base. He caught the middle infielders napping. The ball was thrown into center field by Suzuki, and he was able to skirt all the way over to third base.
Well, Ghost has scored 3 runs in this game. Single, twice, and a double. That is back-to-back really good games for Ghost. In fact, back-to-back 3-hit games. 7-1 Detroit as they go for the sweep of the Minnesota Twins. Anthony waves and misses 0-1. Between innings, Brad Ausmus went over and shook the hand of Shane Green.
That's the first smile we've seen out of Green here tonight as well. He's been all business.
the 0-1. Ghost takes high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Glenn Perkins now has checked in for the Minnesota Twins to get an inning's worth of work here.
He is the closer. He stumbled down the stretch last year, did Glenn Perkins, but 34 of 41 in saves. Doesn't throw as hard as he used to throw. Perkins used to be a guy that had a fastball that clocked out at about 97, but he's right around 92, 93, and a really nice strikeouts to walks ratio. 66 strikeouts, only 11 walks last year for Glenn Perkins.
Suzuki got nicked up on that last foul ball. Already down 1 catcher in this game. Top course, Zalani, the left-hander who is yet to pitch. He is warming up. It's great to have the starting pitching the Tigers have had in this series, but you do have to find a way to make sure you get some of your bullpen pieces in.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy for Brad first 3 games of the year, but I don't think he changed a thing.
No, not at all. That one darts low from Perkins.
You pretty much know what you're going to get with Price every time he goes out there. He's going to pitch 8 innings, so he rests the bullpen for you. As a matter of fact, when you know Price is going to pitch, if you're Brad Ausmus, you can use your bullpen as much as you want the day before, because you know the day after he pitches, the day he pitches, you're not going to need him.
This one's sailing back toward the seats. Plouffe gives a look. Back out of play. 3-2 on Ghost. Don't forget the Red Wings getting ready to get going at 7:30. We might get you out to Fox Sports Detroit Plus if our game is still in progress. Swing and a miss. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Hey, don't forget to follow the Tigers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and a whole lot more. MLB.com at Bat is your #1 app. Check it out for the smartphone or your tablet. There's a check swing strike on Ian Kinsler. A couple of walks for Kinsler in this game. Flares that one foul, back out of play. 0-2. We have our attendance total tonight of 26,782. Hanging out in the rain. Some brought their gloves, got souvenirs. Got him. Strike 3. So Perkins, a couple of strikeouts.
It's a good fastball here inside, thrown by Perkins at 93 miles an hour.
And Sparksdale perhaps extending the strike zone a little bit on that last one. Here is Cabrera. Fly ball right field. Torrey Hunter coming on, and he dives and makes the catch. Torrey Hunter with a sprawling play out there in right field.
Outstanding effort by Torrey Hunter.
Hunter still got it after all these years. Tigers baseball presented by Belt Tire. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Tigers now 3 outs away from a sweep of the Minnesota Twins, and in charge of getting the final 3 outs, new Tiger Tom Gorzelani.
And last year with Milwaukee, he had a pretty nice year, 23 games. The ERA was under 1. He had a lot of strikeouts, didn't walk that many. For the most part, he'll be that left-handed specialist in that Tigers bullpen.
Shane Green threw 85 pitches in this ballgame tonight. Turns in 8 innings and now hands it off to Gorzelani. There's Green, who is got to be ecstatic about his debut for the Tigers. Gorzelani takes over now. He will face Brian Dozier. Tigers signed Gorzelani on January 8th. Ball 1 missing outside. Dozier, Mauer, Hunter, the 3 hitters he will face here in the 9th inning. Popped up. Shallow center field. It's Martinez coming over from right field to make the catch. And 1 out in the 9th. Well, don't forget it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us again tomorrow. The Tigers head to Cleveland. They'll take on the Indians. Our coverage begins at 3 with Tigers Live. Tigers Indians tomorrow at 3 on Fox Sports Detroit. Here's Joe Mauer. He has scored the only run of the series for Minnesota. Came in after walking in the 7th. Strike 1 on Mauer. Tigers have some options, as Rod mentioned, from the left side of the bullpen. Boy, Ian Kroll the other day, was he throwing 95?
He did get up to 95, and his curveball had some really nice depth to it.
Bouncer back up the middle. Kinsler won't get it. Finds the hole. That is a 1-out single.
And not going to keep Mauer quiet the entire series. Inside out swing right back up the middle against the left-hander Gorzelani.
Here's Torrey Hunter. And a strike called on Torrey. Hunter in the ball game 1 for 3, his only hit in the series. He is 1 for 10 overall. Gorzelani misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if you're the Minnesota Twins, you just kind of move on to Chicago and press the reset button, don't you?
For sure.
They've got no choice. They had nothing going this entire series. There's a ball inside. 2-1. And if you're the Tigers, you go to Cleveland hoping to keep it rolling. Now the 2-1. Toward right field, Martinez charging toward the foul line. He'll get there. 2 gone.
It's imperative that the Tigers get off to a nice start. 9 of their first 11 series will be played within the division.
That's the way the schedule is falling this year, so good performances early will reward teams that can turn them in as far as the standings are concerned. Shane Green turning in a great effort tonight, just 85 pitches. Crowd coming to its feet now as Kenny Vargas stands in. And he sends a ground ball to third. Castellanos to his feet, and that puts the Raps on a sweep for the Tigers. Shane Green in his Tigers debut, absolutely marvelous. The Tigers backed him up with 7 runs on 10 hits in this ball game today, and the rain delay did not bother him at all. J.D. Martinez going deep. A lot to be happy about on this first homestand. We'll be back with more from Comerica Park, a 7-1 win here tonight.